With that being said, folks, we're going to move on from the Hall of Fame to the next section, part 2 of 3 here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk NXT Stand and Deliver 2025. This is the 5th edition of the Stand and Deliver show. And I'll be honest, I still remember in 2021 when it was a 2-night thing. Because it was crazy how much of the 2-night things they were doing in 2021 as a result of the COVID pandemic. So they're like, you know what? You guys have been sat around not really doing much, so we're going to give you even more entertainment. And they overdosed on the entertainment, and I loved it! It was amazing stuff. Heck, Willie, you remember Stand and Deliver, the first one was on our birthdays.
Yes, it was.
Night 1 and night 2, and we were comparing which one was better and everything.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
And like I said, I'm still upset about last year. Had it not been for the leap year, WrestleMania would have been entirely on both our birthdays again. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
However, that would have meant that, because I'm a big Tribal Chief guy, that would have meant Roman Reigns would have lost on my birthday. Ooh. That hurt me. Anyways, though, NXT Stand and Deliver has been the big NXT PLE on WrestleMania weekend, and once again, it's taken place on the same day as WrestleMania Saturday. It's at the T-Mobile Arena on the Strip in Las Vegas at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. over in Vegas, which means that the wrestlers have got to be at the arena by 5 a.m. And some people would be like, really? That's way too early. They shouldn't be doing that. Well, for others, I'm like, well, there's a lot of people these days who get to work even earlier than that. So, and even then, I guarantee the wrestlers are not complaining about this at all.
Yeah.
So.
I imagine a fair few of them might have to not do the Hall of Fame, unless they get their sleep schedules all sort of sorted for that. But still, though, that's kind of crazy how early of a start time it is for such a big event. It makes you wonder, why is Stand Deliver airing the day of Mania when maybe you could have done it another day? I don't know, but that's neither here or there.
When you look at the fact that, this year, T-Mobile Arena and Allegiant Stadium and everything, they're about, if you want to drive a car, 10 minutes away from each other. Actually, 5 minutes away from each other. And that's with no bad traffic. But since it's WrestleMania, a lot of traffic is heading that way. And it's Las Vegas. But, and just like last year in Philadelphia, the arena and the stadium were just across the street from one another, so it worked out. But if you want to talk WrestleMania 38 and 39, when Stand and Deliver was on the same day as WrestleMania Saturday, especially in Texas, the AT&T Stadium is 45 minutes away from the American Airlines Center. So, I didn't go to Stand and Deliver. I was down there, but I didn't go to Stand and Deliver because I'm like, no. I'm just going to hang out in a hot tub with my friends because I'm like, this is going to be too much on me. And then 39 Los Angeles. I didn't go to that one either because of how far away the venues were from each other. Had the venues been close, I may have considered it. But at the same time, it still can be stressful for people who are trying to get tickets to everything because this year at WrestleMania, they've overbloated everything. You look at the fact that they even got stuff that are not being aired at the Fontainebleau, like the roast of WrestleMania, the Undertaker's One Dead Man show, and several after parties that are happening every day. So I'm like, there's a little something for everybody, and if you want to do more, we're gonna overflow it.
Yeah, and it kind of makes you wonder, it feels like they could have spread it out with, more venues or something. I'm surprised how the Sphere, that venue, wasn't used for anything as part of Mania Week. But, hey, they're trying to keep things close, and I understand that, but it's Las Vegas. You could at least spread it out sort of thing. There's just so many places you can hold events in Vegas. It's you could easily spread it out across multiple venues.
Yep. But anyways, folks, NXT Stand and Deliver is going to be, once again, on WrestleMania Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, so hopefully you guys are going to be ready for that fun afternoon. We're talking 6 matches on the card. We have 1 non-title match and 5 championship matches. If you look at it, over the course of the 2 nights, there are 13 total title matches, combined both nights of WrestleMania and NXT Stand and Deliver. And if you want to count the Street Profits defending the WWE tag titles on SmackDown prior to all this, 14 title matches over the course of 3 days. Now, how wild and insane is that?
It's crazy.
Indeed it is. So, we're going to start things off by talking the non-title match. It's a 6-man tag team match. The D'Angelo family. Tony D'Angelo, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and Luca Is it Crucifino?
Yeah, Crucifino.
Luca. Basically, the Luca from Pixar's Luca. Okay, we'll say Pixar's Luca. Taking on the DarkState. I'm not even going to say their names because I can't even pronounce any of that. Regardless, there's
Dion Lennox, then there's Saquon Sugars, and I don't give a fuck. I don't know who the fuck the rest of them are.
Osiris Griffin and Cutler James.
There you go.
Wow, he's giving me there you go. Shut the fuck up. I'm just kidding. I love you, man. But anyway, yeah, like DarkState. That's a new stable, which I just call Retribution 2.0. Wait, hold on. Okay, good. I just want to make sure we're not going to get attacked and ambushed by another Retribution. We do not want that happening on this podcast again.
To be fair, these guys are intimidating. So there you go. We're fine.
I know, but the last guys, they weren't intimidating, and they kicked our asses.
Well, these guys are I wouldn't say jobbers.
Bring it on. I'll take all of them. Let's go.
Steve, no. Shut up. Steve, no. We cannot have this happening. I cannot risk this happening again. Not again.
There's many losers this time. We're good.
I may have a Keyblade somewhere in the studio, but I ain't ready to use that yet.
Hey, man, I'm having an allergy attack right now. DarkState wants to try anything. I'll sneeze on him.
Oh, God, yeah. Let's be honest. If this was in the COVID days, that would absolutely work. So, regardless, though, Retribution 2.0 versus the D'Angelo family. So I will actually start with you, Heel Balor. What's your thoughts on this 6-man tag match?
I'm looking forward to it, with DarkState. I just don't like that name. I really don't like the name DarkState. It's just, to be fair, it's coming from the guy who didn't like the Undisputed Era name, and here I am rocking their merch. Undisputed Era for life, baby. But it's very cool, that segment that they had with the D'Angelo family with that big brawl. I really wish this was a parking lot brawl or something like that, like a Falls Count Anywhere match, or like a street fight, because honestly, with that brawl they had on NXT, was really, really good. And especially, the aftermath of, Tony D'Angelo is not happy with Stacks and stuff like that. And then you have, kind of giving the look that John Cena gave The Rock at the Rumble and stuff like that, the death stare, with, after Stacks and Tony were hugging. I'm like, maybe a heel turn's on the way. We shall see. But I do have DarkState winning this match. They are not losing.
All right. Dustin, I'll go with you next, man. Your thoughts on this 6-man tag match?
This match I'm very intrigued about. Not the match itself. The match itself is going to be good. I'm expecting it to be, but it's certain parts during the match I'm more intrigued about. It's in the weeks building up to this. It's been teased a lot that we could have a leader in DarkState. I think it's going to be one of two people. It's either Tony D'Angelo or Channing Stacks Lorenzo. I have DarkState ending up winning this match, and I think I think it's going to be Tony D who turns his back on his own family, and he joins DarkState as the leader. So yeah, I got DarkState winning with a Tony D'Angelo heel turn.
All right. Beast, I'll go with you next. Your thoughts on this 6-man tag match we got coming up?
I agree with Will that it should have had a stipulation to it, considering that DarkState has been jumping people and just eviscerating them. It shouldn't be just like a normal 6-man tag. It kind of feels like they're, I don't want to say watering them down right off the jump, but that's what I'm going to go with. They had an edge to them when they first debuted, when they first started attacking people, and it was dope. And this 6-man tag, kind of seems like they're fucking it up a little bit. Like, should have had a stipulation to it because, I mean, that's what DarkState's all about, right? Just attacking people with no remorse, using weapons. Like, come on, man. Like, it builds itself. But, you know, they're putting them in a regular 6-man tag match with rules. Oh, no, so scary. They have to follow the rules. Fucking stupid. But regardless, DarkState's going over. And I do think that they should continue to beat down after the match and maybe put them through the announce table, hit them with some stuff if they're not actually going to have it be like a false count anywhere match or something. I think they should continue the brawl afterwards and not get some of their heat back, but get some of their edge back a little bit to show why they're here. I do agree also with Will that the name DarkState it hasn't grown on me yet. It's starting to. And I think if they build them well, I'm definitely going to enjoy seeing them every week on NXT.
All right, then. Steve, what's your thoughts on this 6-man tag match we got?
I gotta say, I really love the build that's been going on. DarkState, that is a really just like, not my type of name that I'll give them, but I really do like them as a stable, as how they're being presented. You know, just wreaking havoc all over NXT, just not giving a fuck, just going after, you know, no one is off limits. You know, they see you, they have an issue with you, then you know you're on the hit list, and I do like you really give them a lot of heat, and you know you want to keep that going. So I absolutely do think that DarkState should get the win. I'm not really the biggest fan of just being, you know, just a standard, you know, tag match alone. There really should be a stipulation to this, something that's gonna give them that ability to, you know, show what they're capable of. Especially, you know, you put that in a match, now you're allowed to cause as much havoc as you want. So if this was no DQ, street fight, whatever, you know, something where they could just, you know, cause all that, it would have really been fun to see. But I think regardless, you're still gonna get that even after, you know, they win the match. Even during the match, you know, they're gonna use their surroundings in a way that they're not gonna get disqualified. People going through announce tables, them, you know, using dirty tactics to win. So I really do think all that's gonna continue. But yeah, I have DarkState going over.
All right. Leo, your thoughts on this 6-man tag match?
Honestly, the match itself doesn't interest me. It's more the outcome because they've been building basically what seems to be Stacks going to turn his back on Tony D'Angelo. That's really the thing that interests me about this whole thing. Other than that, I just don't care for DarkState. Like you called them, all I see is retribution. Like, retribution on a discount. But so like, sorry, boys, I can't take you seriously when you're coming out wearing masks. The lights go off and going all over the place with the cameras. Yeah, all I see is retribution, and retribution was shit. Sorry, I can't. I don't care about you. But what does interest me is, like I said, I'm pretty sure Stacks is finally gonna have enough, and just attack Tony D'Angelo after the match when DarkState does win, and that'll either lead to Stacks going on his own, or he's part of DarkState, which I don't really think would make sense considering he was beating them up with crowbars and lead pipes in that parking lot brawl.
Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah, my prediction: DarkState.
All right, DarkState indeed. All right, TYLORE, your thoughts on this 6-man tag match?
I love me a good trios match, and believe me, this one should be a good one, but it's interesting the groups we've got in this contest. I mean, we've got DarkState, the newest faction to arrive in WWE, and everybody's giving them Retribution 2.0 comments, which I think it's unfair considering the fact that Retribution had my boy Slapperjack. But that's just me on that.
Did you just say? Did you seriously
But
just
yeah,
say? Did you seriously just say slap a jack?
I mean,
it's better than the nickname I gave him.
The hell did you say?
Flabby Jackie.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. That is better.
It's better than what I called him.
What was that?
I just went full Jeff Jarrett, called him Slapnuts.
Yeesh. Okay, Tyler, continue. This is weird.
Same thing. I just went with a Jeff Jarrett reference and called him Slapnuts.
Oh Lord, yeah. I mean, I don't know if DarkState can go to that sort of levels, but well, I mean, they did have all the teasers going into Vengeance Day, and then their full arrival, which honestly, that was such a great moment. And they've been going in and out with the world title sort of scene and this whole D'Angelo family story, which I think it's pretty interesting how it's like we're seeing this new faction being built up in such a way where it's like they are dealing with not just the world title challengers, but like other people within the NXT roster. And I think it's a good way to help establish them and that kind of thing. Now, will it work? I'm not fully sure right now, but I am pretty impressed with the way they've been established. I'm intrigued to see the way they go. D'Angelo family, we know what their deal is. They are definitely one of the more interesting gimmicks, which, I mean, they obviously last year, Stand Deliver, Tony D'Angelo wasn't sort of like the main event, and honestly, I never really thought of Tony D'Angelo being like a main event level guy. I feel like this is like the perfect place for like the D'Angelo family, so like that mid-card type thing, which, hey, that's fine with me. I've got no real problem with that as such, but yeah, in terms of the match itself, I think it'll be a pretty good match, and I do see DarkState getting the win. Although I have heard some people rumbling about, ooh, will Tony D'Angelo join DarkState, or will Stax join DarkState? No. I don't see them breaking up the D'Angelo family. Like, I do see a level of dissension sort of thing, but I don't see them fully breaking apart the family. I don't see it. Like, I think the family as an act should stay together, especially if they get called up to the main roster in the near future. So, honestly, I don't see the D'Angelo family splitting up. However, I do see DarkState getting involved in the NXT Championship match, which we will get to later, but all I'll say is that it's going to be interesting.
All right. And of course, KESHAWN, your thoughts on this six-man tag match?
All I have to say is this. DarkState's fucking finisher is fucking disgusting. The way that you remember that fucking move that they did on big ass Oba? They picked this big M'Baku from Black Panther looking ass motherfucker up, threw him, caught him, and powerbombed him. I don't care what no one says about DarkState. By the way, they're winning this match. I don't care what anyone says, but there's not going to be a turn. But back to this finisher. That finisher is fucking gross. It is literally disgusting in the best way. Like, the way they picked... No, I still can't get over this. The way they picked this fucking behemoth up, threw him, and then grabbed him in midair, about them, was nasty.
I agree. All right, we're going to move on now to the championship matches. 5 title matches to discuss here. And the first one is going to be the NXT Tag Team Championships. Axiom and Nathan Frazier defending against Hank and Tank. Hank Walker and Tank Ledger. Been waiting for Hank Walker to finally do something good, after my friends apparently said he should have been the main event of WrestleMania 40 against Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in a triple threat match where he's the one who finishes the... I'm just rambling. But that's exactly what one of my friends said. Anyway, though, Axiom and Nathan Frazier, let's be honest, one of the best tag teams in NXT history. We've talked about this several times on the podcast. But here's a fact that's unfortunately sad. Had it not been for the 19 days that they lost the titles to Chase University, they would have broken the record for the longest reigning tag champs because they won them after Stand and Deliver in 2024. They would have broken the record by now by the Ascension. But they lost the titles for like 3 weeks, and now they don't have the record broken. They still could. They just got to do it in another 100 days. But still. The fact that they've been one of the best tag teams, and the fact that Axiom and Nathan Frazier, they're going in between defending those NXT tag titles and making short appearances on the main roster to put on banger matches. As was, of course, shown when Rey Fenix made his debut with the WWE. So, that's an example.
Or even like the match in Spain where Axiom took on Gunther, which, in my opinion, is a match of the year candidate. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. It's another one. It just goes to show that, there's still a chance and opportunity for NXT wrestlers to make it to the main roster before they get their call up. As a way of testing the waters, and I like that. So for this case, Hank and Tank, they won a gauntlet match to secure their position. Rather weird gauntlet, but still. Better than the women's gauntlet this past Friday night. So, yeah. So I'm going to start this time with you, TYLORE. Your thoughts on the NXT Tag Team title match we got coming up.
Oh, believe me, this is going to be an interesting one. Fraxium, as you all know, I've been saying it for the longest time, my favorite tag team in NXT. In fact, quite possibly the greatest tag team NXT has seen, which, that's bold to say, absolutely, but come on, they put on amazing match after amazing match every single week, and it's like, they're just so good! Like, they are one of the best teams, like, even when they show up in places like TNA, like, they just deliver every single time, and it's fitting that they're on Stand Deliver, because, indeed, they do stand, and they do deliver every single time, and I am so excited for this. Now, Hank and Tank, yeah, that's an interesting one. At first, I didn't really know who they were, essentially, but they've grown on me as an act. They definitely have. I can see the appeal with the more comedic style of them, and I do like them. Like, obviously, they ran through the gauntlet, managing to defeat pretty much most of the teams on NXT, and good lord, was shocked that they managed to last the gauntlet. It just shows, like, how capable they are. Like, sure, I know a lot of people give them a lot of crap, but they are pretty good wrestlers. They are pretty good. But do I see them winning the tag titles here? No. Like, look, I like Hank and Tank, absolutely, but I just don't see them being the ones to beat Fraxium. I know it's been the case lately, like, who should be the ones to beat Fraxium? Absolutely, that is a question that is very hard to answer, sort of thing. Like, for me, if there was a team who would beat Fraxium, I would personally give it to Briggs and Inamura, but that's just me on that. But still, though, I do see Fraxium winning here, but I expect this match to last like 20 minutes or so, and I think Hank and Tank are going to put on a great performance. I think they are going to show why they are deserving to be as, like, a pretty damn good team. Like, they deserve to be up there in the tag title scene. And sure, they won't win the belts, but I think just being in there with Fraxium and having a great match will put them over in the long term. That's just me on that, but I think getting, like, losing the not losing, like, losing the match sort of thing, but still getting respect from the champion sort of thing, I think that's a great way to get yourselves over, and I think that's a good way to show how much you've developed as a wrestler and a character sort of thing.
All right. KESHAWN, your thoughts on the NXT Tag Team Championship match?
First of all, I just want to say Fraxium is fine. There is no issues. They're fine. And second, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I didn't even watch that gauntlet match on NXT. because the second it became 9 p.m., I immediately turned it off and went straight to Disney Plus to watch the season finale of Daredevil Born Again.
Aha.
By the way,
We're not that. By the way, we're not talking Daredevil because I have not seen it yet.
Bro, trust me, you are going to love it.
Continue though.
Anyway, but I did see that Hank and Tank they did win the gauntlet match, and I just want to say that I know from where he resides, Hill Ballard let out a massive pop. Ain't that right, Will? Yeah, that's right. This dude let out the biggest pop of his life. Hell, even bigger than when Finn came back. Then when Finn came out to show that he was a member of the Judgment Day. And let me tell you, do I think that they're gonna win? Call me crazy. You call me crazy, but yes, I'm gonna be an odd man now, and I'm gonna go with Hank and Tank.
Huh. All right then. Leo, I'll get your thoughts next on the NXT Tag Team Championship match.
I'm intrigued. I mean, there's only about like a couple days built because they won the gauntlet on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure this will be a real good match. I mean, Axiom basically has about the best match of every show that they're on, but I'm okay with either team winning, but because I do believe Nathan Frazier and Axiom are going to be called up, I'm going to go with Hank and Tank. If anything, just to get Will's reaction.
Oh, you know Will's gonna have a field day.
Oh, I know.
Oh, Lord.
Hank and Tank. Hank and Tank.
Hank and Tank. Hank and Tank.
I'll have to wait and find out. In the meantime, Dustin, your thoughts on the NXT Tag Team Championship match?
This match, as we saw on NXT, Hank and Tank ended up winning the gauntlet in pretty much Lyra and Bailey style, going through the entire gauntlet from the beginning to end, and they got themselves a tag title shot against Fraxium. I'm just going to be brutally honest with you. I don't think Hank and Tank is that good. I think they personally, to me, don't deserve this tag title shot. I think I want Fraxium to retain, but sadly, I have Hank and Tank winning the tag titles because it's something that NXT would do just to piss me off and piss some other people off in this podcast. So yeah, I sadly have Hank and Tank winning, but Fraxium, please wrestle circles around these sons of bitches.
All right. Steep, your thoughts on the NXT Tag Team Championship match?
I think it goes without saying that Fraxium has got to be one of the greatest tag teams today. They always put on bangers, you know. I know there's a lot of things going around and how a lot of people want them called up. You know, a lot of people don't want them as tag team anymore. Some people want them as singles competitors. Some people, you know, just don't want them as champs anymore. I'm not against Hank and Tank, but I just like, they're funny. They're a good comedy act. You know, they're like, maybe like, you only got me feeling laughing, but like, maybe you get like a chuckle out of me sometimes because, you know, they're not, you know, they're very comedic people. I'll give them that. If they were to be champions, I don't think it should be right now. And I don't think, you know, their time has really come yet. I do have Fraxium retaining. However, you know, a team that I would really want to be the ones to beat Fraxium, and then, you know, Hank and Tank could beat, you know, this tag team, Tyreek and Tyson, you know, the ones with Wesley. I think they have a fair shot at being tag champs. But, you know, Hank and Tank won the gauntlet, and, you know, they're the next challengers. I just don't see Fraxium losing the titles right now. You know, I think they're going to hold it on a bit longer. And, you know, they'll drop it, hopefully, to Tyreek and Tyson. If not, maybe, you know, I do think Hank and Tank will come back around somewhere down the line. I just, you know, not right now is their time.
All right. Heel Balor, your thoughts on the NXT Tag Team Championship match?
Fraxium is fine. Is all I'm going to say about this. I do not like Hank and Tank as characters.
Lies.
Shush. I do not like Hank and Tank as characters.
Cap!
Wrestling-wise, they're fine. They're fine. They're not my cup of tea, but
Cap.
they're fine. I'm a big Fraxium fanboy.
Yay.
Probably one of the best tag teams in NXT, next to Undisputed Era, next to DIY, next to many other tag teams like FTR and stuff like that. They're up there. Fraxium wins this match. And if they don't win this match, don't worry, I will not burn down WWE headquarters and rage stuff and put my shit on Twitter for others to see. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I will just say my shit and move along because professional wrestling is not to be taken seriously at the end of the day.
Thank you.
Fraxium stands tall. We move.
Fucking thank you, man.
That's what I always say. Fraxium stands tall.
How many times do we have to deal with a bunch of idiots who always whine and bitch whenever they don't get their way? Yeah. Like, you know, it's always about whining. People always whine and bitch. Like, for example, when Io Sky gets nothing.
Damn.
Okay, KESHAWN's
First of all,
we're just gonna move on. I'm gonna step over here.
yeah, I'm just gonna follow you.
Yeah. We'll be right back, folks. We'll be just fine. Beast, go ahead and tell me your thoughts on the tag title match. Ah!
While Christian deals with that, I share Will's sentiment. I'm gonna sound like an old man yelling at a cloud here. I don't get Hank and Tank. I know that sounds weird, but I just, like, to me, yes, I know, comedy is subjective. Well, as a subject of their comedy, in quotes, I don't get it. I don't like it. It doesn't strike a nerve with me. It doesn't strike a chord of being funny. It comes off as very try hard, I guess is the word, and it doesn't hit, as the kids would say. Like, I don't know. And them in the ring, honestly, and I'm gonna sound like a dick, stale. I'm not really a fan of them between the ropes either. I'm more of a fan of them between the ropes than when they're out of the ropes trying to make haha funny comedy whoopsie pratfalls on their ass in the back. But I don't care. I don't like them. And I don't know what the appeal is, and I would like to know. I just don't get it myself. And I feel like I felt that way with Chase U as well. Like, it just wasn't my thing. The best laugh that Chase U ever got out of me was when Andre Chase said fuck or shit, and, like, they bleeped it, because that was funny. But that's it. And at least Andre's good in the ring. At least everybody in Chase U's decent in the ring. Hank and Tank, they feel like the dumb best friend in a sitcom, and there's two of them. And it's not my thing. I'm not a fan. I think Fraxium is going to win. However, if Hank and Tank do win, I won't be impressed. I feel like if they do win here or eventually, this is just for me. Maybe turn them, because I mean, I don't get I know a lot of people like their comedy act, and yeah, cool, if they win, maybe keep their comedy act. It entertains a lot of people. I'm just not one of them. But just, speaking as what I like, I think they would be a better dickhead duo than a shitty comedy face duo. That's just me. I don't think they should win. I'm a little scared that they're gonna. I think Fraxium should go over because Fraxium is fine. And I just don't get Hank and Tank. Again, it sounds like an old man yelling at a cloud, but I just don't get it. And keep your ball out of my yard.
Keep your ball out of my yard. That's funny.
Hey, Beast, I just have a question.
Yeah, pontificate.
Do you by chance want to play checkers in the park?
Yes.
Because you're so old.
Yes. Back in my day. And all that.
Back in my day, we had Katy Perry and Justin Bieber, and that was real music. Not like this. What's his name?
This Hank and Tank shit.
Back in my day, we didn't have this. What's his name? Lil Bo or Lil Yachty? Whatever you kids call him these days.
Oh my god.
Hey, question.
I just don't get Hank and Tank.
Oh god.
Hey, Christian, just to ask, I know last time you were out trying to sort out the insurance money for the studio. You managed to get that all sorted?
Yes, we're good.
Oh, thank goodness. I was definitely concerned there last time.
Yeah, we're good to go on that.
Might have to get it all sorted if Hank and Tank win. Just saying. Just saying.
Possibly, yeah. I know Willie's gonna have the time of his life.
Yeah, we might have to reinforce the walls.
Anyway, we're going to move on now to the next championship match. This is for the NXT Women's North American Championship, and it's vacant, folks. It'll be determined in a ladder match, a 6-woman ladder match. Once again, we have a ladder match in WrestleMania weekend. This time, Stand Deliver. And you guys notice the very interesting thing? There's usually a ladder match on NXT, but not a WrestleMania. Or if it's the other way around, there's one at WrestleMania, but not a Stand and Deliver. There's been a ladder match at every Stand and Deliver, with the exception of last year.
Yeah. Like, that's kind of interesting, especially since, like, with, like, the women as well. Like, I think they've only had, like, a handful of them, sort of thing. And like, I think the only men's one to be at Stand Deliver might have been.
No, here's the thing. Here's the deal. Each one was for a different championship. In 2021, it was Jordan Devlin at the time and Santos Escobar putting together those 2 cruiserweight titles because Santos was the champion, but not really. In 2022,
and Jordan Devlin was the champion, but due to pandemic, he needed to go away for a bit.
In 2022, it was the NXT North American title held by Carmelo Hayes, which was won by Cameron Grimes. 2023, the NXT Women's title held by Roxanne Perez, won by Indy Hartwell.
That was such a surprise. You wouldn't believe.
And now this year, last year there wasn't a ladder match to Stand Deliver, but there was a 6-pack challenge ladder match at WrestleMania for both sets of tag titles. And this year, it's a ladder match for the vacant NXT Women's North American title. So multiple persons ladder matches have been a thing since 2022 at the latest here. I mean, sure, it was a time when WrestleMania 31 and 32, we had ladder matches for the Intercontinental title, but didn't really become a full-time thing until like 2022. So it's either at NXT or it's at WrestleMania.
And let's not forget 2021, the one-on-one cruiserweight title ladder match with Santos.
I did not forget about
at
that.
The time. Oh, you did?
No, I didn't.
Oh, and also 2020, the tag ladder match that was just the 3 guys.
Oh, fuck, now that you mention it, yeah, there's been a ladder match at either WrestleMania or Stand Deliver since 2020. It's either at one.
Was there?
Yeah.
Was there a ladder match 2019?
No, there was not.
Nope.
No, there was not.
Nope.
Okay.
Or 34.
Actually, in 2018, the inaugural North American title was determined in a ladder match.
That's true.
But anyway, this is for the vacant Women's North American title. This title was also decided for in a ladder match at Battleground Las Vegas, and in Las Vegas, just like this show.
Oh. Full circle moment! Oh my god, I didn't realize that until now.
Yep, we are back where we started. Nobody is the Women's North American Champion. The first time, it was because it was just getting started. This time, it's because it's vacated. Stephanie Vaquer had the Women's North American title, but she decided to relinquish it when she became the NXT Women's Champion by defeating Julia. So, that's why she pulled a Keith Lee and said, I'll get rid of one and defend the other. And that vacant title was determined in a multiple-person ladder match at the next pay-per-view. Exactly like that. So, and the participants in this case, former North American Champion Kehlani Jordan, Zarya, current Speed Women's Champion Sol Ruca, Izzy Dame, Lola Vice, and Thea Hale. There we go, folks. Over the last number of weeks, number one contenders were determined in a series of matches. And this past Tuesday, of course, we had the final two. So, since there are 6, I will go through each one of you, and I will see which ones you pick to win the match. Starting with you, Dustin, your thoughts on the Women's North American title ladder match.
So, that, to me, literally all the options are damn good, except for one, and there's a big polar bear in Texas in this match by the name of Izzy Dame. No offense to her, but I think this is going to be a fantastic ladder match. As for who I have winning, I have really anyone to win besides Izzy Dame. It can be Kehlani getting it twice. It can be Delta / Zarya. It can be Sol Ruca. It can be the returning Thea Hale. It could be Lola Vice. I'm fine with any one of those individuals to winning this ladder match. I'm gonna go with 2 picks to win this match, and my 2 picks are, one of them is more realistic than the other. I'm going with Zarya and Thea Hale to be my 2 picks to win this ladder match. But like I said, out of Zarya, Sol Ruca, Lola Vice, Thea Hale, or Kehlani Jordan, any one of those 5, I'd be okay with winning the ladder match. No offense to Izzy Dame, you're just not ready yet. So my 2 picks, I have Thea Hale as my unrealistic, and my realistic is Delta / Zarya.
Okay, that's really good. And now, Steep, we'll ask your thoughts on your prediction on the Women's North American title ladder match.
This is a very stacked one, There's a lot of great talent in this one. My prediction comes down to, I would say, my top 2 to pick, I would say, for, personalized, because I've been a long-time fan of her, Lola Vice, and who I think, she just recently came back. And honestly, after everything she really went through, her stable not being together anymore, I think Thea Hale is another candidate. But if I have more faith in Thea Hale being the one to win it, and she would be like my inaugural pick, like the first person who just I think that would be like the most deserving, moment for her to get it, especially after what she's been through with, the chase.
The dark horse. She would be your dark horse.
Absolutely. Especially after with Chase you putting up and everything. And then, I've been a long-term fan of Lola ever since her MMA days and following her to NXT. Just a fan favorite of mine. That bias is kind of just always there. So I will pick her just because as a personal moment for me. But I really think Thea Hale has a high chance in this as being the dark horse. And I really think she deserves it the most out of everyone in the match.
All right. Hugh Balor, what's your thoughts on the Women's North American title ladder match?
I am so excited for this because I love ladder matches in the North American Championship, where it's the men or the women's ladder matches, and that belt go together like candy and kids. I guess I don't freaking know.
Actually, it goes together like chocolate pudding and Chinese food.
That sounds disgusting. That's like a disturbing freaking combination, dog. Oh my god,
disgusting.
Wow. Wow. But yeah, man, it's this is gonna be a very fun very fun. I love ladder matches. The field is stacked, it really is. And my 2 picks, are going to be. It's not really copying what Steve says, but it's kind of a little bit. Let me explain here. My 2 picks. Well, one, my dark horse is Thea Hale. Yeah, her coming back, I popped. Thea was one of my favorites of Chase U, even though I couldn't stand Chase U whatsoever. Her coming back, I legit popped last night. I really wish Carmen Petrovic was in this match. I would have had her replace Izzy Dame, because no offense, Izzy Dame, no, you shouldn't be anywhere near this match, in my opinion. But that should have been Carmen Petrovic in this match. But Thea is my dark horse to win. Like, you know, she's just great. She's amazing. I popped huge when she came back. And my pick to win the women's ladder match is, like, I wanted her to win last year. She was my dark horse for last year. My other fave, Kalani Jordan, ended up winning. My pick to win the women's North American Championship is Soruka. I really have been waiting for a long time for her to get something, and I'm tearing up kind of talking about this right now. She's been one of my faves in NXT for a good while, and I really hope she gets something. And I don't give 2 shits about the Speed Championship. To me, that's not a championship. That's nothing to me. I don't watch Speed. I don't give 2 shits about Speed. Whether it's men, women, I don't give 2 shits about Speed. That's a irrelevant show. That's
But wait, you popped for Speed when he showed up in the Rumble.
That is true. That's the Speed I care about, though.
That's true. The only Speed who should become the Speed champion, right?
What?
You know what? I'm actually about to fire up 2K25 right now, and I'm about to download iShow Speed. I'm actually going to put the Speed Championship on him.
Sorry, dude. We're going to have to be here for a little while longer. That's the thing about being in the Losers Lounge podcast during WrestleMania week. You gotta be here, man.
There you go.
Oh, where's the PS5 controller at?
Oh, yeah. I kind of threw it out the window.
Is that why there's a big-ass hole in the window?
Oh, no. That was because I punched my fist through it. But anyway.
What's wrong with you?
Don't ask me. Anyway. Way to move forward. KESHAWN, I'll ask you your thoughts and your picks on the women's North American title ladder match.
Who, me or?
Yeah, you. Oh. Who else is named KESHAWN in here?
Well, let's get on the thing. Well, me, I'm gonna. There's only one person I'm going for, because I really don't have a dark horse, and that's Thea Hale. Why? Number one, I missed her, and second, she came back with the theme song that used to belong to Will's favorite TNA wrestler, Eddie Edwards.
Wait, seriously?
Yes, she did.
Huh? Actually, not bad.
She dead ass came out to I Am the Fire.
All right. Well,
how do you feel about that, Will?
Y'all can't see it, but he's ecstatic.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving forward, so you believe Thea Hale's gonna win this, huh?
Okay, matter of fact, I'll take that dark horse thing because I do have one dark horse. Call me crazy. It might be a little early, but my dark horse is Zarya.
Okay. Ooh. I mean, you can't really say a little early when Stephanie Vaquera and Julia won almost immediately.
Hey now. We don't do that.
I'm just saying. Anyways, moving on to the next one. Leo, your thoughts on the women's North American title ladder match?
Well, whenever a title's vacated, like, usually there's always a tournament. Now with Shawn Michaels in charge, because his solution is always a ladder match.
I wonder why.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm somewhat excited, but at the same time, it's like I haven't kept up with the matches. I know who won, just been busy. But anyway, I'm gonna give the Wall theory as saying, like, she just came back, but you know what? I'm going with Thea Hale to win.
All right.
She after the whole stuff with Chase U, she deserves a little something.
I agree, honestly. I'm honestly shocked that they didn't give it to her when, you know, Chase U was in his prime. So, all right, Beast, your thoughts on the women's North American title ladder match?
Man, part of me was gonna say Kailani because, you know, full circle moment. Both the ladder matches are going to be in Vegas. Kailani won the first one for the women's North American title. She would win this one. Part of me was going to say Kailani, but I'm going to retract that. Now, I think my main pick, I will save for last. My dark horse is Thea. That return really solidified things for me. On Tuesday. I've always been a decent Thea Hale fan. But that return really solidified shit for me, dude. Like, I saw that and I was like, I think she might go over at TakeOver. Which is good. She does deserve that. But my main pick, and I love Kailani, and it would be dope for a little full circle moment. I would not be mad at that. I would not be mad at anybody winning this match. However, my official pick, Sol Ruca. I share Will's sentiment. Sol Ruca is... which is weird that I wasn't a fan at first. I'm going to be 100% honest. When she first debuted, I wasn't sold. Get it? Sold. I wasn't sold on Sol Ruca. But she won me over quick, man. Like, her athleticism, her moveset, the way she carries herself down to the ring, in the ring, the look she has, it's great. Sol Ruca is, for my money, one of the best women's wrestlers WWE has on their entire roster, main roster or otherwise right now. I think she is a future NXT Women's Champion. I think she is a future main roster women's champion. I think she's a future WrestleMania main eventer. I think she's a future Hall of Famer. She is absolutely fucking fantastic. I share Will's thought process that I think Sol Ruca should and will go over in this ladder match. Finally get her flowers. I am going to be over the moon to see Will's reaction. I don't want to say when Sol Ruca wins because, knock on wood, but when Sol Ruca wins. Because I don't really see, again, I'm fine with anybody else winning the match. I'm not going to be mad at anybody in this match winning. Sol Ruca's the pick, man. Like, and if or when she wins, being in that call, seeing Will's reaction, man, it's going to make it all better for me. Seeing him get emotional and shit like that. That's what it's all about, dude. Like, I'm gonna love seeing that. And I think Sol Ruca is absolutely the right choice. Give her a solid year, man. A solid year with the title. And then following that, I think you should, you know, maybe bump her up to the main event scene of NXT. I think she should be competing for the Women's Championship. I could absolutely see her next year at Stand and Deliver being in the main event for the NXT Women's title and probably winning it there. Because goddamn, dude, Sol Ruca, fuck the Speed Championship. Like, that's not a canon title. Like, it's a little token for, oh yeah, here you go. You had a shorter than 5-minute match on our social media page. That's great. Good for you. But seeing her kick all kinds of ass in this ladder match, I want to see a soul snatcher off the ladder. I want to see her do some crazy ass shit, dude. Like, she's fucking awesome, and I definitely got Sol Ruca going over here. She deserves this. She deserves fucking a main event picture with the NXT Women's title. She deserves everything that she's gonna get. She is fucking amazing. Fuck yeah, Sol Ruca.
So you mean like the crazy ass shit she did at the inaugural North American title ladder match?
Yeah, 100%. If not crazier. Like, abso-fucking-lutely. She is... I cannot give Sol Ruca enough praise, man. Like, she has won me over to the umpteenth degree. It's fucking awesome. I love seeing her wrestle. I could literally watch Sol Ruca wrestle for hours. She has uber talent.
Oh,
She's
really?
athletic as the
so
day
she's
is
really-
long. It's
oh, so-
crazy. Like, it's fucked up
So you're saying
how
she's a
crazy talented she is.
so you're saying she's an amazing Uber driver?
Yeah, a fantastic Uber driver. Yes.
You said she has
No,
Uber
she's fucking
talent.
great,
I
man.
guess that's a woman.
I fuck so happy with Sol Ruka. She is
You do
so
what?
incredibly talented.
You do what now? You what?
You what? Chicken jockey.
Okay, we're just
There
gonna.
it is.
They should do that spot too. They should have fucking Sol Ruka on fucking Zarya's shoulders doing the chicken jockey spot.
Chicken jockey.
100%. Chicken jockey.
I think we need a jockey counter on the screen somewhere. I don't know.
Oh God.
Face chicken jockey.
But anyway,
style. Flint and Steel. I am Steve.
All right.
So
Well,
I take it. So I'm taking that Beast is a fan of the Soul Snatcher.
yeah.
You like that finisher, Beast?
Dude, that's probably the craziest fucking finisher I've seen in modern wrestling. Like the fucking that backflip cutter is so sick.
It's
Not
not.
making it stop the Soul Snatcher. I'm just
It's,
saying.
it's
So
not.
okay, real quick, I don't have
Based-
2K25. Is that shit in the game?
Yes.
Hold on a second. Based.
Badass. Fuck yeah.
I was like a based. I just want to let you know that it's not a backflip cutter. It's a front flip cutter.
A front. Oh yeah, because she springs off the yeah.
Yeah.
And Beast. There's like 5 different versions of it.
Good. Fuck yeah. She deserves
like 5
it.
or 3 different versions of that one move.
Good.
All right. Well,
Give her all the versions of the Soul Snatcher. She's
All right,
talented as fuck.
before Beast accidentally beasts all over us, we're gonna move on. And TYLORE, you're the last one
This is
left.
fun,
Your
right?
thought on the North American title ladder match?
Oh, believe me, I am excited for this match. I love me a good sort of stipulation match and a multi-person stipulation match, and believe me, this is gonna be fun. Of course, we know how Stephanie Valcour vacated the championship because, well, it's kind of hard to hold 2 belts at the exact same time and do multiple defenses and that kind of thing. But, you know, I'm excited for this match overall. Like, I think the talent pool we've got in this contest is fantastic. One of the strongest I've seen for a ladder match in a long time. And especially with the women's division. Like, NXT has, in my opinion, the best women's division in WWE. Like, they are just so good that it's like, it's great that they're getting like this big multi-person match to showcase as many of them as possible. Now, I will say this much. If we were thinking about this, if we were predicting this like the week before any of this happened, and you basically were like, okay, pick whatever amount of people you think should win this, I would have absolutely have picked Sol Ruka to be one of them. I think Sol Ruka is fantastic. However, I know people consider it a non-canon thing, but because she won the Speed title, I don't know. I don't know if they'd be willing to do like a double title thing for Sol Ruka, but look, if they do that, that would be cool, but I just don't really see it. So, in terms of like, if there was like a dark horse kind of person, like someone who I could see winning, but maybe not, I'd say Zarya. And that's not because of any country bias or anything like that. I think Zarya's brilliant. Like, I think Zarya is actually brilliant. Like, she is one of the best sort of wrestlers to come out of this recent wave of NXT signings. And honestly, I definitely see her in the near future being in the sort of NXT women's title, so like the world title sort of scene in NXT. Absolutely, I see that happening. But after that return, after that moment, I gotta give it to Thea Hale. I really gotta give it to Thea Hale. I've been a Chase U fan since bloody, what was it, New Year's Evil? 2023? Like, that show introduced me to, like, NXT again, and that show started with Chase U, and I immediately fell in love with Chase U. They were one of my favorite acts in NXT, and I was so heartbroken when they split up. I really was heartbroken. So, to see Thea come back, have that endorsement from Andre Chase, like, Fia is a megastar in the making. She is a ball of energy, and I just love her so much. Oh, my goodness. I am so excited to see how this goes. I do see Fia winning the championship, and honestly, with the way momentum's going, maybe by the end of the year, I could see Fia Hale being a world champion by the end of the year. Call me crazy on that, but I could see that happen.
My God, I am getting so freaked out here.
I am very surprised that TYLORE did not pick Zarya, considering that Zarya is from Wales and TYLORE is also from Wales.
Oh my God.
Oh,
So we're gonna move on now to the other women's match now. The NXT Women's Championship is on the line in a fatal four-way. The champion Stephanie Vaquer defending against Jada Parker, Julia, and Jordan Grace. You've noticed there's a lot of multi-people matches for titles around here. That's kind of a thing, I guess. It's unfortunately made it look like as if WrestleMania is the one place where we're just trying to cram as many people as we can. Oh well. So, for this case, I'm surprised Julia's back because I was told she was injured. That's the reason why they had this whole double champion thing in the first place. But, well, that didn't last. So, here we are.
yeah, like, I thought that was why she was being taken off of TV, because a lot of people thought she was injured sort of thing, but, yeah, I don't know. Like, what was supposed to be the case then? What was the point of doing it?
I'm not sure. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Actually, I don't think we'll ever see, but that's fine. Anyways, though, we're gonna continue on. Dustin, I will start with you. Your thoughts on the women's North American title match? Not North American, sorry, my fucking fault. I'm still so out of my mind. Still out of my mind after you guys were absolutely creaming over these ladies.
Pause.
Yeah, they really were.
Whoa.
Anyways, Dustin, your thoughts on the NXT Women's Title Match? There we go.
This four-way for the NXT Women's Championship between Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker, I think is going to be fantastic. The little vignettes and video packages that they showed on the most recent NXT were fantastic, especially Jada Parker's. That one, I really especially like that one. But I feel like they could do something with this match. This is a match that I think they could pull off a proper big time upset. Do I realistically think it could happen with how much talent between Vaquer, Julia, and Jordan Grace is, but that I think Jada Parker could win this match? I think there's every chance Jada Parker could win this match. She's the odd one out for sure, but sometimes the odd one out can prevail. I will end up picking Jada Parker to win the NXT Women's Championship at Stand and Deliver. I just after that little promo that she did on NXT recently, the little pre-recorded promo, that really hit me. That pretty much sealed it for me. That I think she could very well win this match. So I would love for honestly any of the four winning would be fine with me. It's another match this weekend. I think if another multi-person match, I think any of the options are fine. But I'm going with Jada Parker to win the NXT Women's Championship, and it's going to be a surreal moment.
Okay, not bad. Heel Balor, your thoughts on the NXT Women's Fatal 4-Way match?
Man, oh man. The match honestly is going to be very good. First of all, I'm very surprised Julia's back this soon. Apparently it was visa issues. Apparently it was visa issues the reason that she was gone. I mean, I don't know that nor can confirm that. I'm no journalist or whatever. But I'm glad Julia's back, and plus she's a heel. And so that's pretty cool. From what I've heard, she's really dangerous as a heel. So I'm intrigued to see what happens with that. Jada Parker, she's all right. She's something. I'll give her that. she's something. Then there is Jordan Grace. Obviously, her coming into NXT officially has been fun. It fits her. Fits very well. She's doing very well so far. And then of course there's the champ Stephanie Vaquer, of course the former NXT Women's North American Champion, which was vacated. Obviously, she's champ now. Who I think will be retaining her championship, pinning Jada Parker. I think this will be a very big show stealer match of the night, one of many matches on the night. And they'll go out there and put on a good show. And I think it's going with Stephanie Vaquer standing tall. So I got the champ retaining.
Alrighty, here we go. Speaking of, you said many matches. That's true, because on Saturday, oddly enough, there's going to be 14 matches across 2 events on the same night. Weird fact. It is.
What?
Yeah. In other words, WrestleMania 35 is 2 events in one night.
Oh no.
Don't worry about it. All right, Leo, I'll go with you next. Your thoughts on the NXT Women's Title Fatal 4-Way?
Oh, just like what happened at what was it? Vengeance Day. That was a 4-way.
Yep.
I expect the same thing. This will be the match of the night, or the afternoon, or morning, considering it when it's taking place over there. Yeah, I expect this to be a sleeper hit, and I expect all these 4 ladies to go all out, but I do expect Stephanie Vaquer to retain her championship.
All right. Okay, Sean, I'll go with you next. Your thoughts on the NXT Women's Title Fatal 4-Way?
Let's just say, excuse me, I'm a big fan of all these women. Like, pretty much everyone here. Like, except there's no cream that's going to be trimming. Anyway, what do I think? This match, a lot of people sleep on this match, but I'll have to say this might be the match of Saturday. With the amount of talent that's in this match with these 4 women, I might have to go on a limb and say this might actually be match of the weekend. Something in my gut is just telling me that.
Hey, sometimes you gotta trust your gut.
As to who I think is gonna win, I mean it's obvious. It's gonna be Stephanie Vaquer. But I wouldn't mind Julia though. That
would just make us question why she lost it in the first. Oh wait, yeah, you said Willie said the visa issues or something. But regardless, yeah, I get your point of that. I mean, Stephanie could retain without a Vaquer in the world.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, that was terrible. I'm gonna just walk away again. In the meantime, Steep, go ahead.
And I thought that one Sin Cara joke that you made in that one Sins video was bad. When he was like, "Well, I don't care about it."
Yeah, that was terrible indeed. Anyway, Steep, your thoughts on the NXT Women's Title Fatal 4-Way?
There are many notable names in this match, and honestly, I see it coming down to I think Jada Parker has the least chance of winning it here. I do think that she's going to be champion somewhere down the line, but maybe getting even like the North American Women's Championship first. But honestly, she's been doing great since she got here. I would love it to be Jordan Grace. What a way to really establish your name and everything and stand out. You being the newest person here and the newest signee, in this brand and everything. But I definitely think it's going to come down to the 2 most, favorite people to win this match out of Julia and Stephanie Vaquer. But I don't see the title change his hands, so I do have Stephanie Vaquer retaining.
All right. Tyler, I'll go with you next. Your thoughts on the NXT Women's Title Match?
Okay, I'm just going to say this right now, and a lot of people may not agree with me on this, but this should be the main event of Stand Deliver. This absolutely should be, because over the last year, the ladies have proven that they are, without a doubt, the top draw of NXT. And that might be bold for some people to hear, sort of thing, but look, I'm just going to say it, the women's division in NXT has been amazing. And as I said for that ladder match, there is such a great pool of talent within NXT in the women's division that's like, they are deserving to have the main event spot. And I know it's probably going to be the NXT title that main events, but please, we haven't had a women's world sort of title match main event and NXT Stand Deliver for a very, very long time. So, if you could please do that this year, considering how big of a match this is, well, that's a matter for Shawn Michaels and NXT booking committees to decide, sort of thing. But overall, with this match, I am excited. I think the amount of talent we've got in this match is just fantastic. I mean, Stephanie McMahon, the champion, she has been on a roll ever since winning the championship. And believe me, she has been a fantastic champion so far. I mean, yes, it's a short reign so far, but look, it doesn't matter if it's a short reign or a long reign. The quality of the reign is what matters. And I think the quality of this reign has been really, really good. Jordynne Grace! The shock arrival of Jordynne Grace at Vengeance Day surprised everybody. And believe me, it was the right time, the right call to bring in Jordynne Grace to NXT. After such stellar appearances that she's had over the year last year in NXT, while she was on TNA contract, she felt like a mega star coming into NXT. Like, she has been the MVP of last year for, like, so much. Not just in NXT, but in TNA. She did some incredible stuff there. And now coming in to NXT as, like, this big deal. Like, I am so excited about that. Julia, she has been incredible throughout this year. She has been just fantastic. Winning the title at New Year's Evil. Having a pretty good run, I'd say, as champion. And yeah, honestly, I think she is incredible. I mean, look, we don't know the exact reason why she had to lose the belt, but believe me, she is just fantastic. And you know what? I'm going to say this. A lot of people give Jada Parker a lot of crap, and I get that. But she is definitely getting up and up there in sort of a hierarchy. I think one day she will be the champion, but obviously I don't see it here, but she has been fantastic, and I'm very happy with the momentum she is getting. So now, with such a big talent pool, the question is, who do I see winning? And this was a hard one for me to decide upon, because you can go in so many directions with this. I mean, you can have Vakor retain and continue her reign moving forward. You can have Jada Parker shock everybody for sure. Or you can have Jordynne Grace win it and fully establish her as like this top tier draw type thing for NXT. But I don't know, but I've got a feeling that they're about to have Julia win here. Like, I know she has turned heel sort of thing, but I don't really see it as much as being like a heel turn as sort of thing. I think it's just for the match sort of thing, the story for the match. But I do see Julia winning back the championship. And believe me, I know, not a great idea to do that sort of thing. I get that. But, I mean, I don't care. Like, you could build, like, the whole year around Stephanie McMahon and Julia trading the belt back and forth. And I think it would still be fantastic. Like, honestly, no matter what happens, I think this is going to be a great match. And I think it deserves to be the main event. 100%.
All right. And, of course, Beast, your thoughts on the NXT Women's Title Match?
Man, oh man. You know, I think this could go one of a few ways. One, I would not be mad at Jordynne Grace being rocket shipped to the title. Two, I would love to see Julia, one of my NXT faves, one of my faves for a number of years, be a 2-time NXT Women's Champion, especially now that she's a heel and more vicious. I would just love to see her knee the fuck out of everybody in that match and take the title that she never lost back. Or C, I can easily visualize Stephanie Vaquer coming out as champion and retaining. I don't really care either way. And it's not a bad I don't care, it's a good I don't care, because all 4 of these girls are just going to tear the fucking house down. Like, it's going to be one of the matches of the entire weekend. I mean, you put 4 talented women in there. I mean, what are you going to get? You're gonna get some curry, some gumbo that's just going to absolutely hit. It's going to slap. It's going to be a banger, like Sheamus says. It's going to be fucking awesome, man. So I'm gonna eat it up. I'm gonna be eyes locked on the screen this whole fucking match. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be violent. They're going to kick the shit out of each other. And I'm so ready for it. My pick, if I had to choose, I'm going to put my bias aside, and I'm going to say Steph. Because I can see coming out of this, we're going to get heel Julia versus face Jordan. I think that's going to lead into the following episodes of NXT, and that's going to be the program that they're going to run with towards their next pay-per-view. Where Stephanie's going to go with the title after this, not a fucking clue. But I'm sure it's going to be great, because Stephanie Vaquer is fucking awesome. I think what they should do is build Julia back up as this diabolical dickhead, I'm going to kill you with my fucking knees heel, and have her rip the title away from Stephanie once she gets the chance to again. I think she should beat Stephanie for the title, just not here.
We have 2 more matches to discuss for NXT Stand Deliver, folks, and the next one, this is actually very interesting. Things have been moving along in crazy ways. Ricky Saints, newly arrival, formerly Ricky Starks from AEW, defending his newly won NXT North American title against All Ego Ethan Page, the guy who people say is me. He's actually, as I said in one of my recent videos, he's a combination of myself and Sandy Zap. So, yeah, he is somehow our child. I am confirming that, folks.
Yeah, I don't know how Santi would feel about that, but I imagine he probably feels proud of that.
Don't forget Mike. Shouts out Sock Monkey Mike. Whenever Ethan Page smiles, all I see is Mike.
So it's,
For real.
So we somehow had a threesome and produced a kid?
Indubiously.
This just got weird. Let's move on. But yeah, Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page. It feels weird because it just feels like only yesterday that Shawn Spears was the North American champion. That's because it kind of was, in a sense. So, for this case, I'm going to start Beast with you this time. Your thoughts on Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page?
Love both of these guys. I've loved Ethan Page since he was in the North. And I have loved Ricky Starks since he was in AEW. I think this also is going to be a sleeper hit of the weekend. I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic mid-card match. I definitely got Ricky Saints going over because, I mean, what are you, blind? Jesus! I think Ethan is beyond the NXT North American title. I think he should be sticking in the main event scene. I don't know why they're putting him back down in the mid-card. I mean, I kind of get why, but at the same time I don't, because he's kind of beyond that. I feel like he should definitely stick around the mid-card scene from here on out. And I think it's not long before Ricky Saints ends up getting there as well. Yeah, I think it's gonna be another sleeper hit of the weekend. Ricky Saints is definitely going over. I mean, goddamn, they're gonna cook for 15 minutes. Like, it's gonna be awesome. It's definitely gonna slap.
Yep. All right, Dustin, your thoughts on Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page?
On this whole entire NXT Stand and Deliver card, I am excited to see two of my favorites that were in AEW splash it out and on Stand and Deliver for the North American title. Absolute Ricky Saints and all Ego Ethan Page. This is going to be a classic. Ricky Saints has been doing a fantastic job ever since he stepped foot into NXT, and he has indeed flipped this damn thing on its head. I'm very excited for this match ever since he won the North American title from Shawn Spears, which I feel bad for Shawn Spears having to be the transitional champ. I feel awful for him, but hey, someone had to do it. And Ethan Page, ever since having that feud with Javon Evans, that feud with Javon Evans was fantastic. And I would hope they one day put the North American title on Ethan Page. Don't think they're gonna give it to him at Stand and Deliver. I do think in Ricky Saints' first title defense, he will end up retaining. But Absolute One will defeat the All Ego One. Ricky Saints to retain the North American Championship.
All right. And now, KESHAWN, your thoughts on Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page.
I pretty much agree with what Beat said. And no matter how you slice it, this is gonna be a good match. But the only thing I would change, I wouldn't have this be a 15-minute match. I would have them go. I would say fuck it and have them go for 20. Have Ricky and all Ego, Ethan, Maracle, Mike, Doc Monkey, whatever his name is, have them go for 20 minutes because just if you give them like 20 minutes, this could be the match of the show, not the weekend, but the show. And as to who I think is winning, they're not gonna have Ricky Saints lose it already. Like, come on, help. Come on.
All right, then. Heel Balor, what's your thoughts on Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page?
They got a history. They got a good history going back to the Elite days. And I'm really looking forward to this match because Sean said best. This might be one of the best matches of the week or of the show. I think it'll be best match of the week, probably up there. With the athleticism that these guys are going to go out there and put on a fun show. Ethan Page, since he lost a smile, wink, wink, and the feud he had with Javon Evans was fun, and now he's back in title contendership. And Ricky Saints, Ricky Starks, whatever you want to call him, him becoming champion that quick, no shock, freaking awesome, happy for him. They're going to go out there and put on a fun show and a fun match. Ricky Saints is going to retain the championship. Well, I think also this will be Ethan Page's swan song.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do.
All right, then. TYLORE, what's your thoughts on Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page?
Man, believe me, it was like the last time we talked NXT on the podcast was when Ricky Starks at the time was coming into NXT. We had the shock moment of his arrival, and we were talking about it and how exciting it all was. And now he's officially dubbed Ricky Saints, and now he is the North American champion so soon after arrival. I don't think anybody expected that, but I was definitely surprised for sure. And to see Ethan Page going at it with him, yeah, I'm excited for this. This is a little bit of an all AEW related kind of match, but in NXT, believe me, this is gonna cook. Like, this is going to be fantastic. As for who I think's gonna win, yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with most of the people here. I gotta go Ricky Saints because, I mean, he just won the belt. It makes so much sense for him to keep it. Even Page, I don't know if he'll stay in NXT for long, but I will say this much. I think it's a good idea to pay attention to the crowd when it comes to Stand Deliver, because who knows? We could be looking at some of the people who could be arriving to NXT in the near future, and we could be looking at whoever Ricky Saints' next challenger could be for that North American Championship. Because believe me, there's a lot of talent that are kind of opening up into the free market now, especially from places like New Japan and TNA and all the sorts. So, believe me, there's a lot of talent that could go after guys like Ricky Saints. So, definitely keep an eye out on that.
Yep. All right. Leo, is your thoughts on the NXT North American title match?
Well, I mean, considering the history of these two superstars, I expect a great match. But overall, it is a foregone conclusion that Ricky Saints is going to be retaining because he just won the belt. Like, why would you give it to him just to lose it? Whoa, is it like 2.5 weeks later? Like, I enjoy Ethan Page's work. I think he's great. He doesn't get the love that he actually deserves, but you know, sorry, but you're not winning the North American title. Ricky just came in, got pushed right to the moon and got the secondary belt, and he just won it 2 weeks ago. Like, you're not beating him for it that soon.
All right.
So Ricky's gonna retain.
All right. And of course, Steep, your thoughts on Ethan Page and Ricky Saints?
Oh, these two are just incredible talents. They have loads of charisma, great wrestlers. This is a perfect pairing, and you give them enough time, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever the case might be. I mean, they can make a masterpiece in 5 to 10 minutes. They're just that great. But absolutely, Ricky did just win the title, and I've loved how he's really been presented ever since coming into NXT, and Ethan Page as well. I mean, yeah, he's had a lot of bumpy roads along the way, but no, I definitely think that it was said earlier that Ethan is beyond the mid-card title, and I think he's just gonna do this for a little bit and then just move on to elsewhere. But yeah, I have Ricky retaining, and this absolutely is going to be probably match of the entire show.
Alrighty. With that being said, we're going to move on to the main event of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event of NXT Stand delivers a triple threat match for the NXT Championship. The champion Obafemi defending against Javon Evans and Trick Williams. I gotta tell you, this is not the first time Javon Evans has been in a main event match for the NXT title at a NXT PLA. Heatwave in Toronto, where he was involved in that 4-way. And I watched Ethan Page pin him to win the title, and it was so much fun. Let's just hope. I just hope this time he's not there simply to take a pin to protect either Trick Williams or Obafemi, because honestly, that's not needed. I was never a fan of putting somebody in just for the sake of taking a pin, because I'm like, no, that's stupid. We're on a big time weekend here, like WrestleMania weekend. You're either going to get pinned or you're going to pin someone. I'm not a fan of someone added in just for the sake of keeping someone else protected. Which I think we'll probably get to in a little later about WrestleMania. But in the meantime, folks, I gotta tell you, I've been enjoying this so far. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen, because Obafemi, in my opinion, is one of the greatest breakout stars to ever come from NXT, no matter what. Especially after his year last year as North American Champion, this year as NXT Champion, winning the titles around the same time, too. So, let's see how he's going to do with the NXT Championship in this triple threat match. Steep, I'll start with you this time. Your thoughts on the NXT title main event?
The three of them, I've been loving their face-offs and everything, and just, you have Oba, who was just this powerhouse, Trick, who, just like Oba, and then Javon out there, your boys Bouncy and everything. I'm absolutely looking forward to this. Trick, I'm not like the really biggest fan for, but I think he's a really decent wrestler. I think he's pretty all right. I absolutely do like Oba. I've been a fan of Oba since he got to NXT. And as far as who will win this, I mean, I do think it is time for Oba to probably he is main roster ready. I think he was main roster ready ever since, when he won the North American title after he lost that. But honestly, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say I got Javon winning this.
All right. Leo, I'll go with you next. Your thoughts on the main event for the NXT Championship?
Oh, considering a lot of Obafemi's big matches lately have been these very chaotic mess, but fun chaotic messes. I expect not about the same with this, considering with Trick Williams and Joanne Evans. Like Joanne's gonna be going around all over the place, doing all the high spots. I expect announce tables to get broken and walls to be broken and whatnot. In the end, like I expect the usual, and that is Obafemi is going to retain. Jovan Evans will be fine. Trick Williams, I think it's time to finally go up to the main roster.
All right. Beast, I'll go with you next. Your thoughts on the main event for the NXT title?
All three of these guys are supremely talented. Again, guys that I could watch wrestle for hours, for days. Like, they have this aura about them. It's so special when you, like, capture that talent, that lightning in a bottle 3 times. Brick, I've been a fan ever since he broke out on his own from Carmelo. I've always thought he had a little something special about him. Oba, been a fan since he got to NXT. Javon, been a fan since he was on the Indies in places like DPW. Is actually the match that I found Javon was his match in DPW against Kid Bandit. Shouts out Kid Bandit.
Kid Bandit.
Fucking phenomenal talent. And Oba has really perfected the King's Road style of wrestling to bring it over to an American audience. I think I would like to see Javon maybe pick up the win here, but I got the ruler, the king of the King's Road, Oba retaining. I think Javon's going to be just fine. I think after this, you can do a lot with him, and I think he deserves a fucking push, man, because that kid is so fucking... He has something fucking special about him, man. Trick. Yeah, I love Trick to death. But if it's time for him to move up to the main roster, then so be it. I just like seeing him wrestle every week, no matter what he's doing. I do think Oba's going to go over, and god damn it, it's going to be a fucking spectacle. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. People can let me know in the comments, and if anybody knows here, feel free to let me know. But I believe this is the first all-black main event in NXT TakeOver history, which is fucking awesome.
I think
well deserved.
So.
And people say
well deserved.
And people say that WWE is racist.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, it's not that. It's just a lot of people complain and they just want special privileges because of race.
Bingo.
It is well deserved to be the first all-black main event in NXT history. To have 3 supremely talented athletes be representing black culture like this is fucking awesome, and it's so well deserved. And I am so hyped for this main event. They are going to cook in every single sense of the word. The definition of banger, sorry Sheamus, the definition of banger, you ain't gonna see a picture of Sheamus anymore. You're gonna see a picture of these 3 guys. God damn it, they're gonna kill each other, and I'm so ready. I'm so ready. They're gonna beat the brakes off one another. Javon is gonna sell his life for stuff. It's gonna be so good. I do got Oba winning, though, but I am totally content. Even with Trick winning, I am fine with any outcome of either one of these 3 guys winning. I do predict Oba, though. It is, god damn it, I'm hyped.
All right, you really are. I can tell. That's awesome, man.
I'm
Beast,
getting jazzed up, man.
Just a question for you, Beast. Where do
Yeah.
you can find those picture dictionaries I've been hearing about?
I find those picture dictionaries in the library here at Parts Unknown. Or Parts Unknown, not Parts Unknown. Parts Unknown. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Isn't
Fair
Parts
enough.
Fun Known the YouTube channel?
It is, yeah. Parts Unknown. Yeah, Kane's from here. Fucking. Who else is from Parts Unknown? Yeah, I'm from here.
The Ultimate Warrior.
That's where you find the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, that's where you find the picture dictionaries, man. It's in Parts Unknown.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna continue on. With Dustin, your thoughts on the NXT title main event?
This NXT title match is pretty historic, if I do say so. First time the NXT title is being defended in a triple threat with all black wrestlers. This has them, and this is going to be a fantastic match. What I thought at first is that they were just going to go straight up Trick Williams and Obafemi for the title as Trick Williams' swan song from NXT. But they ended up throwing a curveball that is Javon Evans. After Javon Evans brutalized Ethan Page in the last match, I was not expecting Javon to even come close to the NXT title right now. But here we are, triple threat for the NXT title. I'm very intrigued on how this one goes, and I have heard some other people say that this could impact DarkState as well, who say if someone in this match is going to be the leader. So, to me personally, and like I said in DarkState and D'Angelo family match, I don't see any one of these three being the leader because I've already have Tony D'Angelo being the leader. So so who do I have winning this triple threat? My pick to win this triple threat is Javon Evans. I just think Oba's title reign doesn't need to be much longer than it already is. I know he just won it recently, and people were saying that he's gonna have a long ass title reign. He could end up beating Adam Cole's NXT title record. But I don't know. I think they have something clicking with Javon. I think it's time to put the NXT title on him. I know there's gonna be times later to do it. Why not do it now? Why not? I think it's a great time to have him win the NXT title. And Trick, you can say goodbye to NXT because I think this will end up still being your swan song. But we will have a new NXT champion, and his name is Javon Evans.
All right, and now we're gonna move on to Heel Balor. Your thoughts on the NXT title main event?
Professional wrestling is a great thing. Professional wrestling brings people together. And the one thing I'm very excited about with this match is that everyone's just gonna have a great time. They're gonna go out there and just beat the shit out of each other. And that's what I can't wait for. Javon high flying, the trick shots, Obafemi being the ruler of NXT. It's gonna be so much fun. The first black main event in NXT history. It's special. It's great. It's awesome, because it's great. And wrestling's for Nintendo out there. And it's
Actually,
great.
wait, hold on a second. Actually, you're wrong about one thing. It's not the first black main event. Look at last year, Carmelo and Trick.
That was the first. This is the second. There you go. Then technically, triple threat wise, this is the first. So, regardless of which, it's great. Regardless of race, regardless of gender, regardless of religion, whatever it may be, professional wrestling brings us together. And that's what, regardless of company, regardless of whatever it may be, wrestling brings together. And that's one of these things that NXT does. And it's going to do with this match. It's going to bring a lot of people together. And I cannot wait to see what these guys do in the ring. And Trick is not winning, first of all. No, I think this will be his swan song. And he's getting called to the main roster. Javon Evans. Could see it happening. But I don't think it's happening just yet. Sometime this year, it will happen. It will. But I'm going to go with the rule. Oh, by the way, shout out Javon Evans. Thank you for shouting out my state. Roll Tide, by the way. Thank you very much. And the ruler of NXT will be retaining his championship. I have Obafemi retain the NXT championship. And Trick's going to get called up. And that'll be it. Obafemi retains the NXT championship.
All right. KESHAWN, I'll get you next. Your thoughts on the NXT title main event?
Oh man, what can I say about this?
I'll tell you what, you can say nothing. Bye. Just kidding.
Oh, what can I say? Oh, man, let me tell you this. Let me ask you all this. Have you ever seen a graphic for a match and then just think, oh, they're gonna fucking beat the shit out of each other? Because looking at this graphic that's on the screen right now, oh man, these motherfuckers are gonna beat the brakes off of each other, and especially Javon Evans. He is gonna fucking just like B said, he is gonna sell his life in this match. Especially with Oba, bruh. Can y'all imagine what the fuck it's gonna look like when he sells a fucking F10 that Oba does?
It's gonna become an F20.
Dude, this dude's gonna do like fucking 5 flips in the air.
Oh, so I should bring back the "Spin Me Right Round" song then.
At this point, you're gonna have to. If he does that, you have to do it for the Sins video. You have to.
All right.
And for Trick, bro, I love you, but unfortunately, I don't think you're taking it. I love you, bro, but you're not winning the title back. You're gonna lose this match. You might take the pin, and then you're going off to the main roster. But god damn, man, I'm proud of Trick, bro. He really came out of his shell. And with that being said, fuck it. Then, which leads me to this big Jabari tribe motherfucker from straight out of Black Panther, Oba Femi. What can I say about him that hasn't been said already? This motherfucker is a goddamn monster, dude. And you just know the shit he is about to do in this match. I don't think y'all are ready. I do not think y'all are ready, if I'm being honest. This dude is going to kill everybody. Not literally, but he is gonna fuck up everybody. If you think the performance that he had last year at Stand and Deliver was saying, just wait till this year. Just you wait to see till you see what he does this year. And with that being said, who I think is gonna win? Come on now, it's gonna be Oba Femi. But something in the back of my head is telling me that DarkState might get involved.
All right. And finally, of course, TYLORE, your thoughts on the NXT title main event?
Oh, believe me, this is a big fight, Phil. And if this is the main event, I personally am fine with it, because this match is gonna cook. I mean, the 3 men we've got in this match are some of the absolute best. They are the faces of this brand. They are some of the top stars in this company. And honestly, when you think of this new silver age of NXT, this black and silver era that we are upon us, I think it's safe to say that those 3 names, Oba Femi, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, they are all a major part of this new sort of era for NXT. And you gotta be grateful that we live at that point where we have such great talent in such a major matchup like this. I mean, seriously, I am so excited to see how this match plays out. And honestly, there are many ways you could go for this, but okay, here's the way I'm gonna put it with each of the guys. Trick Williams, I don't see winning. I really don't see Trick winning. In fact, I see Trick being the one to get pinned. I really do, because look, Trick Williams, he's had a great run in NXT, but I think it's time for him to move on. and I think it's time for him to move over to SmackDown. Because I think SmackDown could do with someone like Trick Williams coming in. Someone to help elevate the main event scene in the mid-card in NXT. I think that, like, in SmackDown, I think that would be a great call for them to do, but that's a matter for them to consider. Obafemi. Amazing champion. He has absolutely been a fantastic champion and well deserving of it. But I see Javon winning. I really see them strapping to the rocket to Javon. Javon has been fantastic. He's been one of my favorite parts of NXT every week. And believe me, ever since his arrival, he's become one of my new favorites. He really has. However, as I mentioned during the DarkState versus D'Angelo family match earlier, I said that there would be something with DarkState with this match, and here's what I think is going to happen. You know what, I'm just going to say this, I think around the end of the match, after Javon wins the belt, or before Javon wins the belt, something like that, I think DarkState will show up, and I think they will attack, but they won't attack Javon. Because I think the leader of DarkState is Javon Evans. And believe me, I know that's a shocker for a lot of people, because a lot of people are loving Javon as a babyface sort of thing. They're loving that kind of thing, but considering the stuff that Trick Williams and Obafemi have said about Javon, like how, oh, you're not ready for the main event. You're not ready for the main event sort of thing. Imagine Javon's like, okay, you think that? Fine. I'm the leader of DarkState. How's that? Like, having, like, a bunch of goons to help you out sort of thing. Like, yes, it's a cliche. Yes, it's a trope sort of thing. But, you know what? If there's anyone who could help make DarkState, like, a top-tier act, if there's anyone who would be great as the leader of this kind of group, it's Javon. I definitely see Javon being the leader of DarkState, and I see Javon winning the championship, and not gonna lie, I could see Javon holding the title for a full year. I really could see them doing that. Will they do it? I don't know, but honestly, I've got a good feeling about that.
And let me just tell you, Javon Evans, he might make his mama cry, because I'm telling you right now, he's got mischief on his mind. Ain't that right, Steve?
I don't condone any of that.
Yeah. Did I get everybody?
And how much you want to bet that when Javon Evans eventually makes $1 million, he's not gonna say it's gonna be a milli, it's gonna be a melly.
Oh.
Ain't that right, Steve?
Once again, I take no part. I do not take any part of what he's putting out here.
Well, okay,
for those of you who understood what that meant.
But anyways, yeah, I got everybody, right?
Yes.
We're good.
We good? We all good?
You're good.
Affirmative.
Affirmative.
I'm damn good.
Oh, yeah.
That was about 4 hours.
All right.